Excellent.
Alright, so let's see here.
Hey, fine. Just do whatever you came here to do and get the hell out of here. And stay out of my stuff.
Yeah, we'll stay out of your stuff about as well as you stay out of your kills. Repairs terminal. Safe control. Assembly stop. Personal log. Right? She's a bit of a grumpy one, isn't she? Alright. So, this is always one of the ones that I struggle the most on. I kind of have a game plan for this one today. We're going to turn this building into a barracks. I think somehow figure that out. I want to put 20 to 25 beds in here for Minutemen. I'm not really looking to go after settlers, but probably gonna have to and just dress them as Minutemen. I know I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, at least 9 beds in here. I might be able to get 14, or maybe not 14, 13. So 4, 4, and 5. So yeah, that may be where we go with that. Snap beds will come in handy. I could do bunk beds, and that would give us 26. So that's probably going to be the best course of action here. 26 beds. We're going to need defense, so we need to know where the raider spawn points are. I'm pretty positive in that one is towards that train house. One's on this road, and then one is over that hill around that tree. I think that's the 3 spawn points. I could be mistaken. We'll check it out with the settlement management tools. But we also have to worry about power, water. I mean, we're right on the water, so putting a water filtration, putting a water purifier in is going to be no problem. Putting power in, we're probably gonna hide our power probably in these rocks, kind of like we did at 10 Pine Bluff. Put the water or the generator here. No need to really get it any lower. Not real sure what we can do with this building yet. maybe workshops. So we might put all our crafting in here. I think that that would be the best action. Put the crafting here. Put some power armor stations in. Some of the compact ones. Now that we have those. In here, not sure. I probably am going to try to glitch a bar into one of these. Probably this one, depending on where that person stands. I think that person would stand right here. There's a lot of stuff in here to grab. Let's go ahead and grab the Nuka-Cola. So there's a lot we can do. Any ideas? Throw them in chat. We've got a lot going on with this build, with this area. This is probably going to be at least 2, maybe even 3 parts, because we're going to build. I'm going to extend this building and put a greenhouse in, so that we can make sure we have food. We're going to need 4 plots of food, I believe. Yeah, 4 plots of food, and that's bare minimum. That gets us to 24. Maybe a couple of mute fruit or mut fruit trees, around 2, maybe 6 of those just outside for one person to take care of. So yeah, we've got our work cut out for us. So let's go ahead and start. As you can see, I have the artillery now. The game glitched, so I had to get the artillery. I had to reset a mission, and it kind of broke something. For some reason, Garvey's not giving me the mission to take the castle. Even though I've already taken the castle, I should still get the mission. Garvey's not giving me missions, so I'm not sure if I literally broke the game by just doing all these builds without him sending me to them or what. But yeah, the game, the main quest is not broken, however the Minutemen quest is, so we have that to deal with. So let's go ahead and start with water. Obviously we need power, but we're gonna throw this in to the water. I don't like how it kind of doesn't make sense, obviously, because this water is it's low. You would need to get in the water to collect it. I mean, in fact, that's actually underneath it. So we're not going to do that. I think the best way, well, let's see. Because this is above water, that's legit placement. It's not where I want to place it, but it's legit placement. Because, see, if you can't place it, it does that. But this is legit placement. So let's... That sure is high up, though. Let's see if we can sync that in with a pillar glitch. Just because it kind of looks stupid right now. So yeah, let's see. Conduit. Just to get us some space. Alright. So I'm going to show a glitch here that works when you're dealing with a floor. So, and it was kind of addressed to me when I did my video with the underground glitch, the underground wire glitch, that you can't do it on certain surfaces, which is true. You can't. This will actually be the first time I'm showing it on a non-ground surface. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this, alright, and we're going to take this, and as you can see, I cannot lower this unless I go on. Now obviously I could just go here and do it, but I want to show you a trick. So we're going to get about where we need. Alright. And I'll back this up. So it's about right here. Now, watch what we can do. We can come back over to resources and go to miscellaneous. And now I'm going to place a garden plot. This is actually pretty cool. So on the garden plot, let me grab this another way. On the garden plot, I can lower. So I can lower this. I think I'm in place. Oops. So we're gonna want to so now that's lowered into place. That's more reasonable to be a that's more reasonable. But I mean, so normally I would just do it like that. You can use the campfire as well, which is really cool. So we're gonna come over here and we're gonna use this. And it's not gonna go down. Alright. So we're gonna have to do it another way. Like I've said in the past, it's a lot of trial and error sometimes. So the other way to do it is through decorations and miscellaneous. And we're going to just do it, bring the campfire in. Nope. So this is where we want the campfire. So what I'm going to have to do is actually build this elsewhere and then bring it in. This can be annoying sometimes, but this is the spot where we want it. So we're just going to grab this, and we're going to kind of just make this work the best we can. Remember, anything you place will typically group select with some few exceptions. Alright, and then we're going to group select this, bring it to here, and lower it. I think that looks good. It does what we need it to do. And if we take a look underneath, the water is up to here. So there's water, easily water under here that's in the water. So I think we're good on that. Swimming in irradiated water, fun. Alright, so with that gives us our water. Of course, we can still have that big 0 up there because we need to bury our power generator. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run power from there over to a flat surface here. And we're going to use my favorite thing in the game, which is conduits. If y'all haven't figured out by now, I try to use conduits anywhere and everywhere I can. They look better. They're more functional. There we go. Now let's find a way to make it look good. Yeah, I think that will work. And then we need this. We need a way to get it down into the ground. So we're going to pull this out just a little. I want to be able to see it, but I want it to, I want to be able to manipulate it too. Having it point down. I want to be able to see this one. I really don't need to see it, but I want to see it. So that's there. That runs there. Let's go ahead and move this up. Now that we have placement of that's kind of the important spot. Then we can jump back up and do a bit of a longer run. So I just need this piece and this piece. Don't really need it on the rock, but I mean, if it was on the rock, it would look better. So we're just gonna aim it a little bit. And I can actually move this back once I get power connected to it. Show you how to do that. Then we need our actual power. Now, I could cheat and put this in and that be our power, but I don't use those. I use that for testing purposes a lot of times. So what's going to happen is we're going to have to bury this, and we're going to bury it in here. I don't think we might be able to go into the rock, but right now I think that the best course of action is doing it with within the grass. And oops, that's not right because it's on. So I don't use, as you've seen, I like to show that I'm actually doing the steps, but because I kind of goofed up here, I'm just showing that I'm just doing it quick and easy. I just need somewhere that I can lay it flat, but also get the post in place, and then we'll walk it over, which is annoying because there is a mod out there, don't get me wrong, and I've used it. There's a mod out there that lets you bury an item without having to do this. It's just the mod does it for you. I'd rather show you how to do it, so therefore you're not reliant on the mod. Hopefully that makes sense. So we're gonna start here. We're gonna run this down here. As usual, we'll put our little one up, one down, as that is now our power. Now, there is another way to do this, and I will be showing that off in a new video coming out this week. However, it's not the easiest thing to do reliably. So, with that being said, I just continue to do it this way because it's more reliable to do it this way. And there's our water. Alright, that gives us water. Now we can worry about defense. Or not defense, we're gonna worry about building our greenhouse right here. And let's see. Start with the floors. Now, obviously, we want to get the floors as close to as possible to lining up. This is where the fact that we have no real perspective of a build mode, like, the build mode's great, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about build mode. I'm complaining that we don't have a top view like we do in Starfield. Top-down view would be so helpful right now, because it would let me line this up without having to do these little micro moves. Alright, so there's our first one. We'll step up, no big deal. We're gonna go 3. By 3. Now, unfortunately, I don't think 3 by 3 is actually big enough because we need 4. We really need 5 garden pots. So this side I'm just putting a wall because obviously no sunlight's coming through that. So I think what I'm going to do is extend this, but make it where the back half can't be used, isn't really being used. Oops, that is the wrong... This is supposed to be this one. So let's go back to floor. So this, we could do the step up thing. So that's going to be the end of that. I could do that. It's going to look weird on the roofing. So let's not do that. So yeah, we may have to do 2 greenhouses here to get what we want out of this. And so what I'm thinking is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we can do 7 in here, so that should work. This is going to be a greenhouse. So I prefer to build greenhouses if I can, or if I don't have a lot of, like farm space, like Abernathy or Finch Farm has. I'll do a greenhouse. When I do 3 by 3s, I usually like to do something weird with the roof. So we're gonna do that here. So since sunlight can't come in this side, I just block it off. And then we'll come back to this, put that in. Then I come over to this one, raise that up. And it's not going to work right now. What do you mean by raise it? Like raise the greenhouse up? It's as low as it can get. The greenhouse is as low as I can put it. The walls, I don't really mess. I just put the walls in, and so what I do here is I just put the walls in and then put the roof tiles in before just lifting this, putting these into place. Unfortunately, it's not wanting to work right today, which is unfortunate. So we're gonna have to make it work. So normally I could just so from here, since it's not wanting to work right, I just take these tiles and put them across. Then I take my windows, put them in like so, and then I can go up, then remove. Yes, I'm wasting resources, but at the same time, I store the item so I can reuse it. So it gives me like I said, it gives me this kind of funky roof, but it's a cool looking roof and I don't mind that. Then, so normally I would put this door in, but honestly, there's another door that I like better now for greenhouses, and it's this screen door. We're gonna go that way. So there's our greenhouse, and then all I gotta do is go to resources, go to miscellaneous, and I have a tool, I have a mod that snaps these into place. Otherwise you would literally have to line these up yourself. Big waste of time. Feasible. Totally feasible. This just works faster. I can put 6 per plot. 6, 12, 20, 24, 36. Yeah, this is gonna work. I'll have plenty of food available this way. I could do that. That would be funny, but I don't need it. Let's plant carrots. I like carrots because they are small. You can find the person working them easily. I don't go right at the edge because then it interferes with the next batch. And I always only put 6 food worth down at a time. So she's already assigned herself to the food, which is great because I didn't want to have to deal with that. For some reason, it may be mods conflicting with this, but for some reason I've been getting it where people don't want to do what they're told. Like they just kind of stand around, and it's only happened since the next gen update. When the next gen update happened, it seems like it actually broke people, like NPCs. So I'm not sure what's going on there. So we have our greenhouse. Now, like I said at the beginning, I believe the spawn points are that way, and that way. So we're gonna get a terminal, and since I don't really need anything long term for the terminal, I just need to be able to plug the holotape in. We're going to grab this terminal, connect it up to that generator. Settlement management holotape. Start program. And we're going to go task. Mark all spawn points. Alright, so let's see if I was right. Well, kind of. I said up there. It's right here, so far so good. Now this one's concerning because that's actually in the settlement. That's inside the settlement. That one I do not like. But there's a way to combat that. If you saw my Hangman's Alley vid, we have a way to combat that. So is it just 2? It looks like it's just 2. Here and up there. So I'm not sure what the one up... I've gotten attacked from up here before by sense, so I'm not sure. Maybe random encounter got me on that. So we've got to figure out how to protect ourselves against this spot and that spot. Well, the great thing is that one of our defense towers will work perfectly for defending those 2 spots. And we're going to put that about right here. So it's got plenty of distance. So we can pull our post. We're going to grab the tall post. And we're going to do a 360. But I'm going to do a double tower like I have done a couple of times before. Alright, no problem. Thank you for stopping by. So we're gonna do 4 so we're gonna do 4 of the post like we normally do. And this is where, so I'm just using the wooden planks this time, mainly because it's cheaper resources. Wood's a lot easier to get. Also, I could, instead of doing this, I could go on the outside, but we're just going to stick with this because this works. And someone said that they would like to see me do it where the bottom is covered. I've done that before, but again, it's really just a waste of resources. The leaner you make it, the better. So, but I need to obviously put in the post here. Oops. So just removing those 2 allows me to put these posts in. Now, obviously it's not ideal because I mean, I could do it another way, but it's just easier to do it where you're forcing it in. Probably not the right word to use there, but oh well. Alright, so there we go. It's in. And then, so normally I would do the circular one. but I really like the look of the square one for this particular location. It's kind of a what's your preference? And my preference here is to use square and to use wood. So now we're going to put our turrets in. And we're going to do something unique. Because we have such an ice spot inside our build area, we're actually going to put 3 per side. And that way we'll have plenty of defense this way. Everything pointing there, everything pointing there. Alright. Ain't worry about that in a minute. Put those 3 down. You guys have seen me build these turret towers before. Nothing new, just a different way to do them. That gives you a little bit more firepower. And then, of course, we need our conduits. So we're gonna put this, so this makes lining things up really easy. Alright. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that one. So this will connect to here. And then the middle 2 will connect to both, just in case. You know, redundancy. Might as well utilize it. Now we're going to take, we could have, there's 2 ways we could do it. One with a conduit, one with a just a wire. So I'm going to do this. Alright. Now I can come through and do, so we're going to do this conduit. But I have to be on the bottom to get it to connect right. Because it wants to connect to the bottom. But I want to force it to connect to the top. So that being said, I want to put it, I set it down. So I go ahead and build it. I set it down. And then I want to grab it from the top. But it's not wanting to do that. I think it connected. Yep, it connected. So unfortunately, even the longer one is not long enough to make it all the way to the bottom. So this is where we have to kind of trick it. So I need this pillar removed, unfortunately. I'm gonna show you how to do this to where it goes all the way to the floor. Alright. So we're gonna go back upstairs. We're gonna use, so remember we have the vertical conduit mod. Alright, so that's in place. Let's just fall off of it. Now, if I do this, you can see that that goes into there. And so this is actually too long. So we're going to go with this one and this one. Then we're going to go back and use that curve. This one. We're going to set that in place. This is why the post needs to be moved. We're going to do that. And then we have to put the post back in place. If you put that in place too soon, that doesn't want to work. We do this, and this doesn't want to connect in. This is why these are kind of frustrating to build sometimes. It's because you're constantly trying to remember how you assembled it. Now it's assembled. We're going to put we're going to put a center one in. Trying to be as straight as possible. But remember, we still have to go down. So we're going to go straight through like this. We're then going to go do another one like this. And again, it can be tricky to get that in place. Now with the mods I have, I should be able to clip that in with no problem. But to just show you what I'm doing, I'm going to move this. I'm going to move that. So there's the conduit. We're going to go medium, small, delete that one, and then that turn piece again. And I really don't care which way it goes, but this way I can at least see it. We're gonna put this back in. Yeah, we're gonna put this back in place. Ooh, it's not gonna let us. Okay. How to do this? Nope. So it's not wanting to let us snap that back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this piece because right now this piece doesn't matter. We're going to put alright, good to know. So sometimes it just doesn't want to work. You just take. So since I have this in place, I can come in and put in my ground conduit right here. I can remove all of this. Now I should be able to connect this back. Not sure why that's not working. Somehow it's got attached to that. Not sure what's going on, but we'll get it figured out. No clue why those pipes are like connecting themselves to the. Alright. So something's up with this. So let's try using new assets. My main goal was obviously to get this in place. With that in place, this shouldn't matter. Alright, sometimes you just have to manipulate stuff. Alright, we're gonna put this back in place. Throw this back in place. This back in place. And one more. Alright, so that should allow us now to come over here. And connect this. We have defense. So that's care of that. Just got this one piece of flooring to put back in. That's done. Now we have 72 to bed, but we're just kind of being greedy and gonna add some more to bed. On this level, I'm just gonna put 2 turrets, and then I'm gonna put 2 spots. Right with the spot plates. Realism. And we get enough. These settlements shouldn't be getting so there you go. We have our defense. That looks pretty good. So now it's going to be that matter of converting everything to that barracks idea. So we have defense. I could put one of these in if I chose to. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad idea, especially facing the road. So we would have a guard here. As you can see, the light really doesn't shine that far, but it just looks more realistic if those lights are there. Next up is going to be beds. So like I said, we're going to use this as our beds. We're going to go to furniture, go to snap beds, which is here on the ends. And I think the bunk bed is the way we're going to go. I want to get it in place where I know it's not clipping or going to be affected. See how much room we have on this side. And then we're going to snap. Mainly what I'm looking at is it drifting, and it is. Luckily this is a pre-built, so I can manipulate just the beds here. But you can see this is way out of line. So we're gonna go to, let's see, 3, 4, 3. This is the center. So this is the one that I'm most concerned about. If this one is in line, they're all in line. And I can use the fact that there's a double post there. Alright, so that should be solid. Now, as I've said before, I like putting heads to heads and feet to feet. So we're going to actually spin the beds so that it's head, head, feet, feet. So every other bed will get spun. You can kind of see, so see how these two are different heights. So that's how we can tell which way to go. And there we go. We have 15 beds just right there. Now, I counted this for each floorboard. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we actually got 7 out of it. So that's 14 plus the bed for Miss Synth. Miss thinks she's a synth. Now, I'm gonna remove these for a moment so that I can get this snap into place. Now, unfortunately, I don't have enough for that, but let me show you a trick with snap beds. So if I go to the hospital cot, that's enough space. Which gives me enough space to do my doubles. And I can still do a center row if I chose to. Now, this should be straight as well. I'm not going to guarantee it is because it's looking like it may be a little off. But I'm going to push this just a little bit. Not much, just a little. Turn this around. Turn it around. And we're going to have enough for that. Alright, so we can bring these back in. I will say one thing about mods, they're glitchy. When you're trying to do stuff like this, they will bounce all around. It's just because they weren't made to what Bethesda made. So yeah, there we go. We have 27 beds now. 26 in here, 1 in the other building. I could come in and say, alright, I want to do military cuts down the middle. Do I need to? No, not really. I could do doubles down the middle. Do I need to? Not really. But just to show what that would look like. These are not going to be... So, unfortunately, I can't get them dead center. Unless I move them. And even then, it's not going to be perfectly dead center. That looks close enough. Go to these. And so that we know which way they're facing. Hello? this gets us to 34, which surprisingly, I've never seen more than 36 in a settlement. So that is actually like the perfect number for this. We're basically giving, we have a fully functioning barracks at this point, if you can call it that. Basically 33 people in a hayloft. So now we're gonna build this out. Again, this is just part 1. We will be doing part 2 soon. I want to say probably Friday night. Maybe Thursday. No, Friday's. Yeah, it'll be Thursday. Tomorrow we'll do part 2 of this. After the NFL game. No, before the NFL games tomorrow. So we'll probably stream at 6 tomorrow for to finish this build off. I'm not real sure what time the game starts, but I will end the stream probably 5 minutes before kickoffs tomorrow. And that's more of me being active in the NFL streams that JG9 does. I like to cut jokes with him and stuff. I'm not on screen with him, but I bet in chat. All in good fun. All in good fun. So we're just going to make this a giant workshop. Mainly because even though we have Sanctuary, which has all the almost all the workshops, I really like the fact that this, we can get all the workshops in place, and it's a one-stop shop for workshops. We don't have to worry about going to hunt for a workshop. Now all I did here was clip the piping behind the wall, so that it looks like the pipes are on the outside, and of course this is on the inside, right next to wood, where you'd be so glad to have to put your fire. I don't remember which way this goes. We'll get to that in a minute. Weapons workbench. I want this one because it is flush. It has a flush back. Perfect. So armor, weapons. This is an armor smith. This is actually to make some things. That's a mod. Chemistry, cooking. So not sure. Let's see. Weapons, weaponsmith. Okay, this is to build weapons. Nuka-Cola. So I do want at least one of these. I'll put this over here. I got these when I completed Nuka World. So if you don't have the Nuka World DLC, you won't be able to do this Also, check out the Finch Farms build because that we used a lot of Nuka-Cola stuff in that. I'm not real sure where that came from. Enclave ramp. Oh, I got Enclave stuff. Okay. Not real sure why I got that stuff, but okay. Alright. And then power armor. Workbenches or workshops. I'll make these line up. It's about even. That looks about right. Inside. Okay. Obviously, you don't have to be as OCD about it as I am, but I like things to kind of mirror themselves or to look like someone took thought in prepping it to look like that. I want to say this one is supposed to be like this, but I'm not 100%. But even if it's you're facing this way while working, the only thing is that's going to clip when in that view. This one may not be the best to use. We may need to move this out here. But that's 5 work. I would say 4 workbenches is enough. And I don't have a door for this, so this is all out in the open, but I think that's fine. It's just workbenches. We have workbenches out in the open elsewhere. Let's see what else we have within Nuka-Cola stuff. So we have Sunset Sarsaparilla. I'm not worried about Sunset. That's West Coast. And that's going... This was real easy just because I already had an idea of how I wanted to do it. One of the biggest things you can do is scout a settlement. Look at the settlement as a whole. And kind of decide what you want to do with it. Is it a small settlement? Okay, let's just make it a trading post. Is it a large settlement? Okay, well, we can make it into a barracks. We can make it into like Sanctuary Hills where it's homes. We can make it where it's homes and trading. So like here, I can put my bar here and my clinic space here, so to speak, and all of this can be, you know, place to eat. This could be the mess hall. So we have options there. I can make it where those 2 doors, you only can get into the store area. So we're gonna So we've got armor. Now that line is a great asset. Unfortunately, the line is... I really want the line on the back. So there's, there's our first one. Obviously, you don't have to do these straight. I do them straight just because I like the way they look straight. So armors, weapons. I've got room for 2 more big ones, and I really want the clinic or the bar to be here in the middle. So the bar's in the middle. My clinic's gonna be on the end, and then I'll put clothing as my next one. If this will fit in. So like this one's not, let's see. So this one's not really gonna fit in, but as long as it's not clipping out, and it is. So if I group select that and push it in, the question is it now poking out this side? And it is. So there's multiple ways to fix this. Obviously, it's get it as good as possible, but I'm going to show it. There's another little trick you can do. So obviously the only way back here is the is this, is these doors. So, but we've got this clipping problem. This is like 2 pixels too big. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the clinic. No. I'm going to take this guy out. I'm going to push the clinic just to where it disappears. That little piece where the window is, I'm not really worried about. Or not where the window is, but this little piece right here, I'm not really worried about. It looks okay. And now, I'm just going to clip that in. No, you're really not going to notice it's clipped in. There's no real evidence of it. So there we go. 5 stores with a little bit of clipping. 2 pixel clip. That's literally what it was. It was like 2 or 3 pixel clip. And we're good. We have that all set up now. And now we need the mess hall part of this. We're going to go to chairs. So what I love about there's 2 tables within chairs. There's the big picnic table that holds 4, this one, and then there's these booths that hold 2. Well, the nice thing is these booths snap together. So we're gonna, so the idea is that we're going to take these, we're going to spin them around. to put them as best we can. Alright, there we go. So that 2, 4, 6, 8. Alright. Then we're going to come back and do the same thing on this side. We can use overlap to kind of get us in the right spot. Check to see how we're doing here. Alright. And then snap these into place. Oops, that didn't snap. Alright, so we have those snapped into place. Now I could leave a column and then snap more boosts here, but honestly, I've never seen more than about a dozen people eating or sitting. So if you think you get 2 per, that's 4, 8, 12, 16 people there. I don't see a problem with that. A lot of people will hang around the bar. But also I can then come in with these, and this is just free seating. This is just a couple of seats. I do want to put lighting in here. Of course that means putting a radiant unit probably on the back side, probably 2 of them. If that's, I'm not sure. I might have to put them on this side too. We'll see. We'll see how far the power travels. So normally I would just use this, but because I'm actually on this board, on this boardwalk, I'm going to use this one. And we're going to set it up on here. And then the other, we'll go ahead and put this one down here as well. I'll go ahead and put it out at all 4 corners, just in case we need it at all 4 corners. Alright, so now we just need to connect our wire. And with this being complete, I'm gonna call it here. I know I normally go 2 hours. I realize that, but it is midnight, and unfortunately, I do have to work tomorrow. So we're going to call it here and pick up with this tomorrow at 6 o'clock Eastern, and we'll go until kickoff of the preseason games, at which point we'll call it. We may end up doing 3 parts of this series just because of how football is going to affect everything. We will have more Madden games being played. I want to be able to get to Madden 25 by week 1. of the NFL season. So with that being said, I will be streaming a lot more Madden next week, as well as getting ready for what we're gonna do with the with Madden Season 3. And I have something cool coming. JG9 and I are discussing doing a Madden multiplayer league. There will be some requirements. One is you will have to be able to stream your franchise. But that being said, what we're considering, you will be able to. I have an idea to do Red Zone Madden style. We're gonna see how we can do it. But I know we have the software to do it. It's, do we have the people to do it? And I think we do. I think if we have the right enough people on Madden to get at least 6, I think 6 is kind of the magic number for this year. We want to have 3 NFC and 3 AFC teams. AFC's picked over. We've already got those 3 in place. We need 3 NFC teams. And we're going to see how it works. But we will be doing, the idea would be to simulcast all 6 games on one channel, so you could watch me play my game, but if you had a second stream up, you could watch all 6 games at once, and those would have no sound. They would just be the game. So I think it'll work out really cool. We may test it next weekend, but until then, until I see you again, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for hitting the like and subscribe button. And as always, I'm Scorpion Taz, and I'm out.